The history of Boone County is rich with natural resources, beautiful landscape, and vast opportunities. This Explore Harrison Tourism Room highlights what the Native Americans and early settlers of this area's past discovered, that this is an ideal place to be. The name Boone, B-O-O-N, was given to this county because it actually means blessing. The decision to spell it B-O-O-N-E is believed to originate from the historical influence of Daniel Boone. The newer attractions and events, as well as the past, are still a boon for the visitor and local citizen. From the Buffalo River to the Ozark Mountains and the hundreds of events and historic buildings, this county and its people are truly unforgettable. Boone County is a blessed place to explore and enjoy from 1869 to this very day. The large War Between the States monument on the east side of the Boone County Courthouse was erected in 1986 during the Arkansas Sesquicentennial of Statehood by the General Joe Shelby Camp number 1414, Sons of the Confederate Veterans, and the Captain James Tyree Wright, Chapter number 6, Military Order of Stars and Bars. This lists some of the area's Confederate soldiers and a poem to perpetuate their memory. 3 sesquicentennial markers denoting 150th anniversary of the War Between the States, 1861 to 1865. They were placed from 2011 to 2015 at the Boone County Courthouse, Rally Hill, and at Lead Hill. These markers give details on skirmishes and troop movements during the war in the respective areas. During this 4-year period, the boundary lines of Boone County was at that time Carroll County, not being changed into the new county of Boone until 1869. The old Harrison High School was designed by Fort Smith architect Harry C. Swebke and built in 1912 at a cost of $15,464. The facade originally had large, curving bay windows on both stories, but in 1954 the facade was remodeled into more of a prairie-style appearance and the bay windows were removed. The building served as a high school until 1952, when a new high school was built on South Pine Street. Students moved into the new high school between the fall 1951 and spring 1952 semesters, at which time the old building became the new Harrison Junior High School. The building served as a junior high until 1987, when yet another new high school was built. Soon after the students moved out, the building was acquired by the Boone County Historical and Railroad Society Incorporated and now houses the Boone County Heritage Museum. The Arkansas Hot Air Balloon State Championship. This unique outdoor event that began in 1995 is held in beautiful Harrison, Arkansas. The festival kicks off on a Friday evening at dusk with balloons tethered to the ground for the exciting balloon glow, but the huge balloons can be spotted in the air as early as Friday morning. Buffalo National River. Named by National Geographic part of the top 10 unprecedented parks, the Buffalo National River is one of the few remaining unpolluted, free-flowing rivers in the lower 48 states, offering both swift running and placid stretches. The Buffalo National River encompasses 135 miles of the 150-mile river. It begins as a trickle in the Boston Mountains 15 miles above the park boundary, following what is likely an ancient riverbed. The Buffalo National River cuts its way through massive limestone bluffs, traveling eastward through the Ozarks and into the White River. The Buffalo National River has 3 designated wilderness areas within its boundaries. The Buffalo National River is the United States' first national river ushered in by Boone County former Congressman John Paul Hammersmith in 1972 by eminent domain. At first, there was great controversy by local farmers and families that had lived on the river for generations. But today, however, making the river a national river has saved the small towns, brought in revenue, and protected wildlife and the river itself. And that brings us to the Bull Shoals Lake. The natural state's largest lake, Bull Shoals Lake, is a world-renowned bass reservoir born from the impoundment of the White River. Bull Shoals is a man-made lake with over 1,000 miles of shoreline and 70,000 acres of fishable waters. It was named by early French trappers who used the word boyau, meaning large spring, to describe the 6 big springs in this area. Edmund Jennings, the first English-speaking person to visit the area, called the place the Country of 6 Boils, pronounced B-U-L-L. The pioneers used the same pronunciation and Bull Shoals became its name. The Bull Shoals Dam, built on the border of Marion and Baxter counties, was constructed in 1947 by the Army Corps of Engineers in conjunction with the Flood Control Act of 1938. The dam was finished in 1952 with a dedication by President Harry S. Truman. The 2,256 feet long dam was built to create flood control and generate electricity for the area. It was one of the largest dams in the United States, one of the largest concrete structures in the world, and the 5th largest dam in the world at the time it was finished. Crawdad Days. Arkansas is home to over 60 species of crawdads. 13 of these species are found only in this state. They are essential to their Arkansas freshwater habitat and cannot tolerate polluted water. Native Americans and settlers used these mud bugs for food, fish bait, and the children found them fun to catch. But watch out for those pinchers. Let's celebrate these crawfish from Crawdad Days. Crawdad Days started in Harrison in 1992. It is a 3-day long festival with a carnival, crafts, exhibits, music, games, food, vendors, a petting zoo, and of course, lots of crawdads to eat. You can sign up for the Crawdad Days 5,000 Run Walk, which is a timed event with age group awards, or the Crawdad Days 5,000 Walk. Don't worry, even though crawdads are faster in reverse, all participants are expected to only race, that's right, facing forward. DeVito's. Do you like to go fishing? Catch your fill at Bear Creek Springs Trout Farm. The easiest rainbow trout fishing you will ever find, and it's great fun for the kids and the entire family. The trout farm is located at DeVito's Restaurant just north of Harrison. Dog Patch USA. Dog Patch USA was a theme park located in northwest Arkansas along State Highway 7 between the cities of Harrison and Jasper, in an area known today as Marble Falls. It was based on the comic strip of Little Abner, created by cartoonist Al Capp, and it was set in a fictional village called Dog Patch. The park opened in 1968 and it closed in 1993. Dog Patch USA was a commercial success in the early years. Investors tried, though, to parlay a success into a sister park called Marble Falls, and it was planned with a ski resort and convention center. The venture failed and led to the park's closure in 1993. The property then fell into disrepair. Parts of the park have been divided up and sold, and the main area has been bought, sold, and foreclosed on several times. That's Dogpatch, USA. Downtown Harrison, Arkansas. The Harrison Courthouse Square Historic District is an area of downtown Harrison, Arkansas. It is known by residents simply as the Square. The Harrison Courthouse Square Historic District includes the 1911 Boone County Courthouse, several clothing stores, and restaurants. Several war memorials stand on the courthouse lawn representing the war between the states, the Spanish-American War, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and the most recent modern wars. The square is known as the site of the shooting of famous outlaw Henry Starr. Most of the square's buildings were built between 1895 and 1948. Earlier buildings having been predominantly wooden in construction. In 1999, there were 54 historically significant buildings, including most of those facing the 1911 courthouse and a few on the immediate adjacent city blocks listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The annual Arkansas Fiddlers Convention. Now, what is the difference between a fiddle, I've always wondered this, and a violin? Well, the song you play, how you play, and where you play, that is the difference. The fiddle was declared the official state instrument of Arkansas 3 decades ago, ushered in by Boone County Representative Bob Watts. The fiddle represents a love for the instrument by the pioneer families of Arkansas, and the music played across the strings could be lively little dance ditties or slow and serious gospel hymns. The fiddle is responsible for a classic Arkansas folk tunes and distinct clogged dance steps. The annual Arkansas Fiddlers Convention was started in 1983 and is a time for all musicians, young and old, to get together and have some fun doing what they love, just playing music with the fiddle and other instruments. The Hotel Seville in Harrison, Arkansas. The Hotel Seville is a historic hotel building at Vine and Ridge Streets in downtown Harrison, Arkansas. It is an L-shaped 3-story frame structure finished in brick and terracotta veneer with distinctive Spanish Revival mission styling. Its eastern entry porch is supported by polychrome terracotta pillars, and portions of the exterior are finished in terracotta tile with inset geometric patterns. Built in 1929, the building is one of the most elaborate examples of Spanish Revival architecture in the state of Arkansas. It was used as a hotel until the mid-1970s when it was converted to elderly housing. It has since been converted back to a hotel. The building was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1994. Lead Hill, Arkansas. The town of Lead Hill, which began to rise at the old town site, now in the Corps of Engineers property, it was in some sense, although not in the same place, a successor to the town of Dubuque.
Lead Hill began as a mining town. Deposits of lead and zinc lie in the ground. The trees saw travelers were headed their way. Man set foot in this place at the break of day. Around 1812, this area saw firsthand old Buck Coker, the first settler in this land. A few others arrived after the Civil War. Building this town must have been a hefty chore. Oh, Lead Hill, you're in our hearts. We were bound to leave, but never part. Waters rise and take their fill, but the spirit remains in old Lead Hill. A store was established in 1868. A watermill and cotton gin claimed a spot on this Ozarks lake. Merchants and doctors were welcome too. In come a shoemaker providing new shoes. Down everything saw pride. We built our lives by the riverside, but they said a lake was coming, we'd have to go. Goodbye to the old town we came to know. Oh, Lead Hill, you're in our hearts. We were bound to leave, but never part. Waters rise and take their fill, but the spirit remains in old Lead Hill. Town was moved upon the hill, but memories we do have still. Moving the buildings before the water came in. What would the town do with the mill and the gin? Though the postman's route and the general store, the schoolhouse ringing, but now no more. Underneath this new lake, deep and still, lies the soul of our home, oh, Lead Hill. Oh, Lead Hill, you're in our hearts. We were bound to leave, but never part. Waters rise and take their fill, but the spirit remains in old Lead Hill.
The Lyric Theater in Harrison, Arkansas, built in 1929 by J.W. Bass as a new state-of-the-art movie theater for talkies. The Lyric was a big step up from its original location as a silent movie house on the west side of the town square. The original owners, D.E. and Lulu Fitton, leased the new theater back and charged 10 cents for adults and 5 cents for children. The new Lyric was a mix of design styles. The murals inside the building were painted by J.W. Zelm, although local folklore claims that they were painted by a trained hobo down on his luck and in much need of some folding money. Those old murals have been restored by local artists. The theater officially closed in 1977, giving in to newer movie complexes. The refurbished Lyric is operated by the Ozark Arts Council. The Lyric Theater also is a unique venue for plays and concerts. It is where everyone is welcome to come together for community activities such as live play presentations and so forth. Maplewood Cemetery in Harrison, Arkansas is located just a few minutes from downtown Harrison. Maplewood is planted with over 733 sugar maple trees that explode in an array of vivid colors every autumn. The peak of color is usually in mid to late October or even in early November, depending on environmental conditions. By nature, sugar maples turn many colors, expressing each of their own individual personality, which means each tree's foliage is its own unique color palette. The tree's color remains the same every year of its life. Think of it like a fingerprint, for instance. From deep reds to vibrant oranges and bright yellows, the sugar maples in Maplewood Cemetery offer a wide array of colors and make a terrific setting for walking, driving, of course photography, or just absorbing the peaceful surroundings. Organization in 1901, the 20th Century Club is an important ingredient in the life of Maplewood Cemetery. Arkansas has over 90,000 miles of rivers and lakes. When the state was first settled, the primary way to cross a river was a ferry. A ferry, usually a handmade wooden raft owned by an individual that knew the tributary well enough to safely pole the way across. Some ferries had a rope stretched from side to side so the ferryman could guide the raft by hand. A fee would be charged, but the price was well worth a safe crossing. Eventually, the Arkansas Department of Transportation started replacing ferries with bridges. In 1968, there were 17 ferries in operation in the natural state, and by 1986, the amount had decreased to 4. Today, only one publicly run ferry remains. It's the Peel Ferry. This historic barge crosses Bull Shoals Lake several times a day and is the only connection for Highway 125 from Arkansas to Missouri. Scenic Highway 7 is the route now known as Scenic 7 or Highway 7. It is the state's first scenic byway. It first appears as a state-maintained road in 1924 when the Arkansas General Assembly first created a federal aid system. Two main routes, State Road B14 and State Road A5, from a rough trail similar to the present-day Highway 7. Upon creation of the U.S. route system in 1925, the north and south portions of the highway were replaced by U.S. Route 65 to Harrison and U.S. Route 167 respectively. Arkansas numbered its highways in 1926 and the route became Highway 7. The north part of A5 remains as Arkansas Highway 5. Scenic 7 is 297.27 miles long and crosses the entire state of Arkansas from north to south, from the Louisiana state line to Bull Shoals Lake at Diamond City near the Missouri state line. Great views for any season, but most visitors like the autumn scenes and the beautiful foliage. That's the best. The Swinging Bridge, the building of Haggard Ford Swinging Bridge, began around 1938 through the U.S. Government Works Program Administration, or it's called WPA at that time. And as it paid the laborers $1 a day, the bridge was completed in 1941. This World War II era bridge is significant for its engineering design and because it is one of the few historic suspension bridges left in Arkansas. It's also nicely picturesque. On May the 7th, 1961, a great flood washed much of Harrison away, and the Haggard Ford Bridge as well as downtown Harrison. 4 citizens became quick casualties. The bridge was marked as incapable of supporting vehicles. A new low-water cement slab then was built right beside it. The Haggard Ford Swinging Bridge became derelict over time, and in 1977, County Judge Clifford Tomlinson gave orders to tear it down for safety reasons. Although no longer useful as intended, the bridge was part of Boone County's heritage and an old friend to the landscape. The familiar structure still towered over generations of swimmers and stood sentinel as it gave shade to picnics and fishermen. Leon and Gertrude Karasinski couldn't stand the thought of seeing it go. They started a Save the Bridge petition signed by 500 Boone County residents. And then on July the 30th, 1977, a plank sale where you could purchase a $10 plank inscribed with your name was held to resurface the bridge's decking. 340 planks were needed, but 400 were sold. That generated enough money to replace all the decking and also replace the handrails at a cost of $3,281.58. Fannie Lou Hammer said, "Never to forget where we came from and always praise the bridges that carry us over."